Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Now I know Tuesdays are supposed to be Tech Tree Spotlight days, but believe it or not, the ship that we're going to have a match in today, the Podvoisky, was the subject of what I believe was my very first Tech Tree Spotlight. And so I added that video into the Soviet Destroyer Tech Tree playlist. I am not going to redo that Tech Tree Spotlight. So instead, we've got a match here on Sea of Fortune, if I remember that correctly. And the title of the video, How Two Destroyers Wrecked the Red Team. That's right, it is not just me, your hero, but the other destroyer on our team is also going to have a whale of a match. So keep an eye on, I tried to read his name, I can't do it. He's in the Clashhorn Tier 3 Pan-European Destroyer. We are in the Podvoisky, the Tier 4 Soviet Tech Tree gunboat, out of the gunboat line. Not that the other line is more of a torpedo boat, it's just less of a gunboat. All right, Furitaka out here, and we are going to talk about the upgraded stats that I now have access to on WoW's builds that I didn't have when I made the original Podvoisky video. All right, time for that is later. We've got a Clemson moving in here, Tier 3 destroyer on the enemy team. We are preparing to take him out. Nice flat trajectory on these 130 millimeter guns, turning to get them all on target. The Clemson commander, quite trickily, does not do any type of evasive maneuvers. Until now, he's going to turn out and give us more to hit with our HEs, so thank you. Incoming fire, we do get a turret knocked out. I don't need 5 turrets. Honestly, I wish it was the 4th turret, because I found the 4th turret on a lot of these Soviet ships doesn't have a great forward firing angle, so I don't really think we're missing out with anything. We are going to launch some torpedoes here into the ether, I think. Maybe right there? Yeah. Just to see if he's going to come out. But I don't think he is. I don't think he is. So we're going to turn around. We're going to be encouraging our teammates to shoot. And while we are doing that, we will go back and look at the Podvoisky here. Courtesy of WoW's builds. If I could just get the stupid autoplay video off my screen, I could read stuff. All right. The Sigma of the Podvoisky 2.0. So that is a pretty good number. We'll use some of that Sigma to shoot as a Furitaka. Just trying to get all tricky there with the border. Let's see. Fires per minute 2.53. Arming threshold of the armor-piercing shells 22 millimeters. Torpedo reaction time 7.14 seconds. All right, we are engaging the Clemson again. He is bow in towards us. It is not going to end well or last long, Mr. Clemson. This is the Podvoisky, and it is a very strong destroyer. All right, unless we missed. We'll throw some torpedoes out there just for the heck of it, but we got our guns up here, and I don't know what I was aiming at, but luckily it managed to hit the Clemson. Kill number 1. Look at all those torpedoes coming in on that battleship. Don't send a battleship to do a destroyer job. Alright, got a Wyoming out there we're looking at. Got the Furitaka coming around the island. Other red ship is on the other side of us on the other island. We are going to throw up our smoke screen and start to farm damage from the Furitaka. While we were doing that, we switched armor piercing here. Can we get armor piercing hits that are meaningful? Not really. So bear that in mind. Oh, there's a Citadel hit. But I think you'll see we're going to be hunting for that Citadel again, and not going to be really having a whole lot of success trying to do that. While we are farming, going to go back to WoW's builds really quickly. Looking at the 15 ships at Tier 4, including premiums, Stat selection, we're going to go hit points, firing range, damage per minute for the HE shells, max speed, and C detectability. We will pause momentarily while we get a solo base cap. Continuing to shoot at the Furitaka, hoping to finish him off. And not having a whole lot of success. There is another hit to Citadel. And this last salvo should get the job done. Kill number 2. Alright. Well, I don't know how many kills my buddy in the Clash Horn has gotten, because I've been doing lots of other stuff other than paying attention to the thing. But just note, he captured Bravo. We needed him to do that. He probably killed or severely damaged the one ship that was over there. And you know, that's all I needed him to do. Alright, we're moving in on the Wyoming. Back to WoW's builds. Hit points. Jaguar number 1, Podvoisky number 3. Firing range, Podvoisky, Gremiashi, Subrazatelny, Farragut. All tied for 10.2 kilometer main battery range. HE DPM, Podvoisky is 9th. The number 1 ship is the Farragut, 125,581 for the Farragut. So significantly lower than that. Speaking of significantly, we're going to do something called a torpedo run. Old school. Getting old school here. We don't have long-range torpedoes, so unlike the Gnevny and the Minsk, which had their torpedoes upgraded after everyone performed terribly in them, the Podvoisky received no such upgrade. So we got to do this torp run up close and personal. That's right. Drive-by, devastating strike. Kill number 3. Alright, and we're going to bust a U-turn and head over towards Alpha. Other destroyer, a lot more damage than we are, heading over there with us, so that's good. Alright, back to the stats. Max speed, Podvoisky, 42.0 knots in the base configuration. Fastest ship at the tier by 3 knots. C detectability, Podvoisky, Subrazatelny, both at 6.5. Unlike the Subrazatelny, the Podvoisky was just a blueprint, never existed, they never built it or anything. So overall, you've got good hit points, but the Jaguar has a huge jump over you and the Gremmy. Firing range, among the best. Max speed, the best. C detectability, the worst. HE DPM, lower middle of the pack. So those are the stats for this ship. You know, and the thing is, I noted in my first Tech Tree Spotlight of the Podvoisky that the reload was significantly slower than the ships around it. You know, I want to say, if I'm recalling what I said in that video, you know, you got the Itzislav, it's around 5 seconds. You've got the Minsk and the Gnevny, those are about 5 seconds or a little less. And the Podvoisky is like 7.5 seconds, significantly longer. So I think that was done for balance, but I mean, quite honestly, when I look at Russian ships out there, in actuality, there are other ships they could have put in the game other than this ship, which never existed. Here we're going to take out, or try to take out, the Emerald, but the Clash Horn beat us to it. And so we'll start farming damage from out of our smoke screen from the Britannia. Clash Horn obviously has much longer range torpedoes, although they don't do hardly any damage. So I am content to sit here in the smoke and farm. We've got plenty of points, you know, a 450 point lead. Bellerophon out there, barely at the edge of our gun range. Britannia, we've got 3 kills. We're just going to sit here and farm. The issue is not really in doubt, even though Britannia took out our Wyoming. And you can see the G10, the Clash Horn, pardon me, moving in there. More torpedoes en route towards the Britannia. We're just trying to set it on fire, because that's what we do. And so, yeah, I linked the original Tech Tree Spotlight of the ship up in the 2-minute mark of this video, so I hope you go watch that if you haven't watched it already. I think that video stands on its own, regardless of the changes that have been made to the game since then, so I hope you watch it and enjoy it. There we do set the Britannia on fire. We're going to move out of our dying smoke screen and start to farm damage. Because above all, you know, this is kind of like Fire and Ice. We're farming damage. We're setting ships on fire. The Clashhorn is chipping away with its torpedoes. Presumably that's how it killed these other ships that it got kills on. So at the end of the day, he is doing his role in a destroyer. You can see there, torpedoing the Britannia. And I am doing my role, damaging the other way with our guns. And between the two of us, we have set up kind of a rock and a hard place, Scylla and Charybdis, you know, a hammer and an anvil type of situation where if I'm not setting him on fire and burning him down, he is torping them to death. And really, this video, I think, illustrates to anyone that I don't need communications with this player. We both did our job using the strengths of our ships, and we were able to dominate the match for our team, further underscoring that in good destroyer play is one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor, to winning games in World of Warships Legends. Okay, the Clashhorn took him out. There is one ship left, a Bellerophon. You can see a couple battleships over here, allegedly trying to kill the Bellerophon. We're going to head that way. I cannot let the Clashhorn steal all my thunder. Although I think he has one more base cap than I do, because I was outside in the smoke screen, and he was driving around in the cap circle. So I believe he has 2 base caps, and I only have 1. All right, so we're moving up here, just trying to get our guns on the Bellerophon. I'm not really concerned about being shot at. So we are going to just light him up. Good trajectory on these Russian guns. Blue ship going for the ram. Totally missed. Set the Bellerophon on fire. Checking for torpedoes because the Bellerophon looks like he's turning back in. There is the high caliber metal. Continuing to shoot our guns. Bellerophon gets the Confederate medal. Well, how nice. Alright, throwing torpedoes out there. I may not need them. We are set on fire by the secondaries, but in return we are continuing to punish the Bellerophon with our high explosive. And there is the coup de grace. Look at that, some milestones. It's been a long time since I've seen that screen, at least in yellow. All right, 78,535 total damage, 152 main battery hits, 3 torpedo strikes, 2 big kills, 3 hits to Citadel, and 1 solo base cap. Also got the high caliber medal and the devastating strike medal. We ended up with just under 200,000 silver and 4761 ship XP and commander XP in the Podvoisky. And in a minute here, we'll go to the team result and see the power of teamwork, the power of 2 destroyers working together. Number 1 ship on the team, Clashhorn, probably on the strength of that extra base cap. And then myself, between the two of us, we got 8 of the 9 kills. And even if that Wyoming never got a kill, we probably still would have won the match, just based on points alone. 2 destroyers wrecked the red team, folks. That's how you get it done. It's that simple. Pick your destroyer, play to its strengths. If you're lucky, like I was in this game, you get another destroyer with a commander who knows what he's doing, played to his strengths, and as a result, between the two of us, 8 of the 9 kills against the red team. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. We'll have that Gnevny Tech Tree Spotlight on Friday. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you on the next video.